Are you planning on taking a trek during your next trip? Have you taken a lot of treks, or is this something new that you want to kind of experience while you're in that new destination? In this video, I'm going to explain to you my top tips on why hiring a private guide versus a group tour for trekking is going to be well worth the money. There are some destinations that just beg you to go trekking in. Now, these don't have to be super difficult treks like up huge mountains or anything like that. It could be just a trek through the country itself. So it could be I've done multiple days where I've just gone from one city to another city during group treks. Now, I don't do a lot of trekking when I am at home, so it's not something that is in my DNA or anything like that. But there are times where you just need to get out and explore a little bit more. I have done multi day treks only when I've been traveling. I have never done any multi day treks when I'm at home. I've done, some small day hikes here and there, but nothing extensive. Now, I did learn that I really do love getting out and walking and trekking in the different countries and really seeing what life is like. You see it in a whole different way rather than just sticking to the tourist areas and the main cities. I did also learn that I much prefer hiring my own private guide versus doing a group tour. Now, I started off doing group tours because that's all that I knew. You just hear about these tours that are going, and off you go. You sign up, and there you are. Now, they were a great introduction, and you're able to meet a lot of new people along the way, but there are some downfalls, and I'm going to explain to you why I think hiring a private guide will trump doing any of the group tours. Now, you don't necessarily have to do it for all of them, but for larger ones, and depending on your skill level, you may want to definitely think about this. The first big lesson I learned is when you go with a private guide, you can go at your own pace. Now, with the group tours, you have to keep up pace with everybody else, including the guide and everyone else. I learned that I am not a fast trekker and I'm usually always the slowest one. And it's just one of those feelings, it just makes you feel like a bit like crap because you're always the slowest. Everyone's usually waiting. And when everyone has had a break, you arrive at the break area and everyone's ready to go. So you don't get a break. With the private guide, you are able to go at your pace. You can take breaks when you want and have a more enjoyable time taking your time. The second one is you can stop and take photos or stay longer in certain areas wherever you want. Ideally, obviously, it's got to be in some time constraints so you're able to get to your next camp. But when you're on a group tour, you have to definitely keep up with the group, like I said before. But you don't have a lot of time to be able to stop, and if say there's a local school that you want to go visit the kids, you're not going to have time most of the treks. So you're going to miss out on some things that may interest you that you see along the way, or you just may want to stop and take some photos, but you got to be pretty quick to do that when you're on a group tour. When you're by yourself, you can tell the guide, we're going to stop here for a little while, take your break, take some photos, visit and talk to some people. So it's a lot more enjoyable and just a more relaxing trek and trip that you can take. Number 3 is that I can change the schedule of where we're going and how we're getting there. So when you are doing a trek by yourself with a guide, you're able to map out exactly where you want to go, the different stops that you want to have. And you can also adjust that on the fly sometimes. Say you're in one place and you are just exhausted. Say with a group, you're just going to have to keep going. But when you're by yourself, you can say, okay, we're catching the bus at the next stop. And then we're going to take that to the next town. So you can adjust how you're getting there and the modes of transportation, plus where you're going and how to get there. So it's a nice little safety net for you to be able to do with the modes of transportation, and then also planning a whole trip that you are going to really enjoy. Number 4 is you don't have to talk to other people. Sometimes you just want to trek and you don't want to have to talk to other people and be able to just think about things, enjoy the nature, enjoy the quietness, and have that as your experience. Now, when you are trekking, most people are going to want to talk to you. You're going to want to make friends and you're going to be making small talk most of the time. So depending on what you're wanting out of this trek and this experience will determine if you want to go with a private guide or with a group. So determine if you want to be having conversations all the time or if you want to have a little bit more reflection and quiet time and decide on that experience. And then lastly, you get to choose your guide. When you are taking a private trek, you are able to meet with the guides beforehand, see if you guys mesh and get along, and be able to have a more enjoyable experience. When you sign up for a group tour, you are not sure of who your guide is going to be, so you're kind of just left with whoever is scheduled for that trek, and off you go. Sometimes it works out, and sometimes it doesn't. Now, I have done multiple types of treks, 3-day treks, up to 16-day treks. I knew as soon as I did a number of those 3-day treks of group tours that I did not want to do a group tour for my long Annapurna circuit trek. So I hired a local guide to take me through the Annapurna circuit. I also hired a porter because I know my limitations. But I highly recommend that you get out of your comfort zone and go and experience some of these types of treks and experiencing things outside of the tourist destination. You won't regret it. It's going to be an amazing time and you're going to see a lot more of the country, of the people that live there, the culture, and so much more than anyone else will actually see. So I hope you guys have a wonderful time on your trek. If you are looking for some more tips and tricks when traveling, do check out my free travel checklist. In this checklist, I go over the top 10 things you should be doing before you take your next trip. I'm going to post the link down below in the description. You can click on that and grab that for free. Now, if you have any questions, please put them down in the comments below. I would love to answer them for you. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.